Hi everyone, welcome to the Silvie and Maryl Show. I'm Silvie Celiz.
And I'm Maryl Celiz Paz.
And today we're going to talk about how to stay spiritual. It's a question from a viewer and asking us, how do you guys stay spiritual daily?
Yeah, and I think the first thing that I want to say about this is this. I think many people have an idea of spiritual, or people who talk about spirituality as, you're always in the lotus position, you are zen, you meditate. Absolutely not the case. I mean, you may have those spiritual practices or, holistic living practices, but we're all human beings. And if we're in a body, we're subjected to emotions. Emotions, by definition, are up and down. You have negative ones, you have positive ones. You still experience anger or sadness or, maybe guilt and shame, these things that we have to work through. And I think that is one of the biggest things to understand. It's not about perfection. It's not about always being, one straight line. It's about being human. And then on top of that, what is your spiritual practice?
Yeah, I think what Marilla is talking about is it really being in constant observation of yourself. When you are having these negative emotions or thoughts that are haunting you or are making you
do things that are not productive for yourself.
Exactly. It's about observing yourself and being, okay, well, how do I overcome this? I think
observation is one of the biggest tools that we have, and that is one of our spiritual practices. We, after the day has passed, or as we are doing things in the day, we are not just doing the things that we're doing, but we're also observing why we're doing what we're doing, right?
Definitely. And I think that's what we focus on, especially in our family. We're going through things daily. I mean, who doesn't? We're human beings, hello. But we focus on, how do I overcome this? What is going on inside me?
Why did I do that? Where did it come from? Was it a pattern I had that I adopted from someone when I was little, or was it a pattern I had that I adopted from someone I admired, but it's actually not serving me at all in my life? And how do then I transmute that pattern to do something healthier for myself?
Also, spirituality comes from the word spirit, correct? And spirit, it's something that is. It just is. And it is in all perfection, as you will. And so just being yourself, just connecting to your essence and
emanating that for the world to see, expressing who you are through word, through art, through your behavior, through everything that you do. That is being spiritual.
That is being spiritual every day, being that authentic self daily. That is being spiritual, or living a daily spiritual life.
Yeah, and it may seem like it's like a no-brainer and this is so easy to do. I'm just going to be myself. But how many times do we say things that we don't mean? Or how many times do we say things that we are used to saying, that I'm used to saying to you, but is that really what I wanted to say?
Yeah.
And is that really what my true self really wants to do?
Or also being in environments that you are trying to fit into. It might not, but it's going against who you are. And
right.
That's not, also that's
not authentic.
That's not authentic. So having the courage to be that who you are, that's definitely, living a spiritual life and honoring that for you.
And observation and analysis comes into this because a lot of times we have built a persona about who we are, but we're not really being who we truly are. So we have to take all those things away from our personalities and, those things that we have adopted, those patterns we have adopted of behavior, and really hone in on who is the essence and who am I really, you know?
And for example, I mean, you and I both, we meditate, daily when we do all these things, but we don't stop there. That's not really what we call our spiritual practice, and that's it. For me, for example, my main spiritual practice, daily spiritual practice, is laughter, singing, and dancing.
Yes.
Yep, you heard it. Dancing, singing, and laughing.
Laughing is a spiritual practice. We do it together.
I love laughing.
Yes, I mean, part of the reason why we have a show together, and part of the reason why we have business together, and why we hang out so much, in spite of the difficult times, is because we make each other laugh like no other. We're just like super silly together.
It's like
super silly.
She gets me.
Right.
And
so when you're able to do that with someone, that's like precious spiritual energy.
Not only that, but so where's the backbone to this? It's really about creating high frequency vibration.
Yeah.
Again, we always talk about we are electromagnetic, electrochemical beings emanating this frequency, this electricity, outside, which then comes right back into our lives, right?
Right.
So keeping that high vibration frequency, for me, hands down, laughing, singing, and dancing, that's what it does. If I'm a little bit down for any kind of reason, my frequency's a little low, bam, I turn up the music.
Bam!
Bam! And all of a sudden, I'm just feeling so good, you know?
And for me, I go to nature. Being surrounded by nature makes me really, really get in touch with the natural laws of life. And I think that brings me back to my true self. So you've got observation, you've got, the being in nature, you've got self-analysis, you've got laughter, dancing, singing, lots of spiritual practices.
And something that we do 6 times a day. Eat. Making meals, exactly. It is a spiritual practice for us. Eating is a spiritual practice because we are actually in contact with this energy that is going to uplift us and clear our minds, and we are aware of that, so it becomes spiritual.
Right. In essence, anything that you do through the right intention and that you're observing yourself do can become a spiritual practice. So be sure to hit us up on Facebook, Silvie plus Maryl.
You can also follow us on Twitter, Silvie and Maryl, at Silvie and Maryl.
And that's the same for Instagram, Silvie and Maryl.
Yes. And send us your questions, smtv at silviamaryl.com.
That's right. And we will answer them right here.
And remember to sign up to our email for exclusive content. Might be sending those bloopers out. I'm just saying. Got laughter, raising the vibration,
It's all for you.
Yeah. It's all for you. If you really want it, all for you.
And we're out.